Hello students, welcome to Bidhan English classes. I am Bidhan Krishna, your English teacher. Today in this session, I am going to acquaint you all with a very important lesson from the first book, the first flight, that is Nelson Mandela, A Long Walk to Freedom. So stay tuned from starting to end. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Long Walk to Freedom is an autobiography written by South African President Nelson Mandela. This lesson profiles his early life, coming of age, education, and 27 years in prison. Under the apartheid government, Mandela was regarded as a terrorist and jailed for his role as a leader of the then outlawed African National Congress. He later achieved international recognition for his leadership as president in rebuilding a new Africa. In the first part of the lesson, Mandela describes his upbringing as a child and adolescent in South Africa. His childhood name was Rolihlahla Mandela. Mandela believed democracy meant all men to be heard and decision was taken together as a people. Dear students, this chapter is an extract from the autobiography of Nelson Mandela, who was born on 18th July 1918. This lesson reflects the description of the inauguration ceremony, Mandela's speech on that day, his journey to being a freedom fighter, the struggle along with a tribute to other freedom fighters. In South Africa, a brutal practice named apartheid was followed. Apartheid refers to the discrimination between people on the basis of their race, where dark-skinned people were deprived of their basic rights. This lesson gives us an overview as to how Nelson Mandela, along with others, carved their way to a society where there will be no discrimination on the basis of their color, caste, race, age, or gender. 10th May, it was bright and clear. Many world leaders had been coming to the author to pay respect to him. It was before inauguration. The inauguration was to be the largest gathering of world leaders there. The inauguration ceremonies took place in a big open building in Pretoria. Here the South Africa's first democratic non-racial government was to be installed. On that day, the author was in the company of his daughter Zenani. Mr. De Klerk was the first sworn in as second deputy president. Then Thabo Mbeki was sworn in as first deputy president. It was the author's turn then. He was sworn in as the president. He pledged to obey and uphold the constitution. He also pledged to devote himself to the well-being of the people. Mandela thanked all the international guests. He said that they had come there to be with his countrymen. It was the common victory for justice, peace, and human dignity. Mandela pledged to liberate his people from poverty, suffering, and discrimination. After a few moments, colorful South African jets and helicopters flew over the Union buildings there. It was for military's loyalty to democracy for a new government. Then the highest military generals, having medals on their chests, saluted the author. He thought that they would have arrested him many years before. The day was symbolized for the author by the playing of two national anthems. The whites sang Nkosi, Sikalil, and the blacks sang Die Stem. These formed the old anthems of the Republic. The auspicious day came after the sacrifices of thousands of people. The author thought of himself, the sum of all those people. He was pained that he couldn't thank them. The policy of apartheid created a lasting wound in his country and his people. This policy had produced great freedom fighters. They were like Oliver Tambo's, Walter Sisula's, Chief Luthulis, Yusuf Dadu's, etc. They were men of uncommon courage, wisdom, and generosity. The country was rich in minerals, but its greatest wealth was its people. From these people, the author learned the meaning of courage. They risked their lives. They underwent great torture. He learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the victory over it. Mandela says that no one is born hating another person due to color or religion. They could be taught to love. Love comes naturally to the human heart. Mandela further in his speech says, in life every man has twin obligations, to his family and to his community and country. The author found it difficult to fulfill these two duties. It was because a colored man in South Africa was punished if he lived like a human being. Such a man was forced to live apart from his own people. So he was not allowed to do his duties to his family. As a student, he wanted freedom to read and go. As a young man in Johannesburg, he wanted freedom to be as per his potential. He also wanted the freedom of livelihood of his own and of family. But soon he saw that he was also not free like his brothers and sisters. Then he joined the African National Congress. The desire for the freedom of his people to live with dignity gave him power. It made him bold. It made him live like a monk. The chains on his people became chains for him too. The author knew that the oppressor must be liberated like the oppressed. A man who takes away another's freedom becomes the hated. No one is free if he is taking someone else's freedom. Both the oppressor and the oppressed are robbed of humanity. So students, we see that the whole lesson is nothing but a description of the inauguration day, the place of inauguration, about the swearing in ceremony, and how the author addresses the gathering comprising of people, leaders across the world, and the common people of South Africa. And in his speech, the author defined what is courage, and freedom fighters were also remembered. In the speech, Mandela also defines what is freedom and how this desire for freedom made him bold. I hope you understood the lesson. If you are watching my video for the first time, please consider subscribing. And don't forget to press the bell icon so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Kindly like, share and comment. Thank you for watching.